To get a deeper understanding of government's policies and societal issues, we are here to present about how laws are important for maintaining such regulation of behavior in an individual. Before getting into the subject, the famous philosopher named Thomas Hobbes in his book Leviathan discussed that in the state of nature, man always revolt against the weaker personality. Everywhere, man is at conflict with one another. He tries to motivate to escape this chaotic nature of state by creating a social contract. Thus, through the social contract, he was able to prevent the loss of life and emphasize a strong government and social order, which resulted due to the lack of security and protection. So, a topic of discussion of why laws are significant is mainly to resolve the conflicts, to create a framework of interaction between the society and the governmental institutions, and further to eliminate or prevent the chaos, and finally to create a fair and just environment.
Welcome to another episode regarding to the information about laws. Today our topic of discussion would be regarding the concept of labor laws. Labor laws were the complex and the evolving landscape. Labor plays a major role in the development of the country. The national development dependent on larger proportion of workforce of participation in a country. The government in that light introduces various labor laws to provide the workers social security, good working conditions and employment. At top note, the aim of the labor law is to maintain an industrial peace. The role of labor mostly comes in the picture when industrial revolution started in India, but the working conditions of the workers were very bad because of British exploitation. They treated workers like slaves, paid low wages, and they did not have any right at that time. The exploitation increased day by day. So, the British Parliament, for the first time in India, passed Factories Act of 1883, ensuring basic rights of workers and giving prominence to the working minimum right of working, that is 8 hours, and also put in policy to abolish a child labor and included extra wages for extra work. After independence, the government of India provided new rights to labor. The main objective of these rights is to ensure social justice. International Labour Organization was one of the first organizations to deal with labor issues, and India is one of the founding members of ILO. ILO International Labour Organization policies are defined under 4 pillars of actions. The first pillar includes employment opportunity and full and productive. This is used to create job opportunities and also increases the scope of entrepreneurship, enhances the skill development, and enforces the labor to be included in the market. The second pillar, as per the ILO policy, is social protection system. It ensures social insurance, universal health coverage, unemployment can be addressed, illness and the diagnosis of diseases, old age, and address issues related to poverty. The third pillar, as per the ILO policies, are to create a social dialogue between the government, employers, and the working organization. It ensures participation and addresses diverse mechanisms in resolving the disputes between them. And the fourth pillar, as per the policy of ILO, is protection of fundamental principles and rights. Every industry should ensure not to engage any child labor and to exhibit non-discriminatory principles. The working conditions should be decent and should ensure the dignity. The wages are to be fair and to be treated equally between genders. The nodal ministry under whose jurisdiction the labor laws were codified are Ministry of Labor and Employment. The labor laws defines the rights and responsibilities of workers and employers in the organization. These laws cover generally the industrial relations, the health and safety of workers working in a factory, and the employee condition, including general holidays, annual leave, working hours, minimum wage, and payment. The various labor policies for the economic development featured by the government to safeguard the interests of the community comes from Part 4 of the Constitution, which is Directive Principles of State Policy. They are based on the fundamental principles such as social justice, social equality, and uniformity. Treating in this slide, India transformed 44 labor codes and consolidated it under 4 codes. First is Code of Wages, Code of Industrial Relations, and Code of Social Security, and finally a Code of Occupational Safety, Health, and Working Conditions. By laying under these 4 codes, they distinguish between laid off workers and unorganized workers. The code transformed the previously imposed British policy on labour in regard to working hours, a minimum of 8 hours, and overtime employment. The concern has to be come from the employer. And finally, when they have worked for over 180 days, they are entitled to take leave for 1 day for every 20 days of work. This code simply regulated and reduced the compliance burdens and ensured social security of unorganized sector of India. The question comes here: why codification of laws are important? By merging the labor laws in a country, a healthy relation between the employer, management, and workers are a pre-requirement. This step by the government provides a new framework for the labor laws to simplify and rearrange the old laws and provide better inspections. They create an advantages for the employers and the employee in resolving disputes and protecting the employees and the workers. They also initiate a reskill fund for the employees who are unemployed and makes it easier for the employers to understand the laws. They also re-emphasize the role of women and create an employment opportunities for the women. There is a great need of a survey in regard to the labor code formulation. The periodic labor force survey released in May 2025, it tracks the impacts on the labor laws regarding the labor force participation rate and unemployment rate. The effectiveness of laws including the participation of the employer and also resolving the increasing the nature of employment and refine policies to decrease the changing rate of unemployment in the industrial revolution era. It shapes the employment landscapes. The data as per the periodic labor force survey are: the labor force participation rate was 55.6%, where the rural has been slightly highest, that is 58.0%, whereas urban resided at 50.7%. The working participation ratio was at 52.8, and here too the rural has exceeded the average, that is 55.4%, and the urban remained at the lowest below the average at 47.4%. The unemployment rate of the nation is at 5.1%, with the rural holding 4.5% and the urban crossing the average standing at 6.5%. The central government has come up with the introduction of codes in ensuring wages, dispute resolution, and social security coverage with the implementation of 4 labor codes. India is required an overhaul of reform from the ground level. Therefore, these codes on wages, occupational safety, health, and working conditions in industrial relations will bring a new revolution for the labor in India. India has a significant concern about its labor force because the issues with the unemployment, wages, and working conditions in the informal sector is at huge. As per 2020 report, 476 million workers are in the labor force part. That is the second largest workforce country after China, and also 10% of them are child laborers. Nearly 10.1 million work of the years 5 to 14 were child. Aligning with the International Labour Organization policies, India showed a significant portion to resolve the unemployment and to improve the dignity and the standard of living of the workers. The issues are mainly related to the gig workers, workplace safety, and informal sector. The question here arises about their wages, social securities, or does the informal sector also ensure social security for the informal sector workers? After the COVID pandemic, we have already seen in news about the accidents related to the gig workers. So, India need to brighten its policy in ensuring a safe and secure labor platform for all unorganized and informal sectors too. Truly, labor laws are complex and evolving landscapes. The Industrial Revolution changed the economic and social sector of the world. So, in today's video, we understood the societal issues regarding the labor laws and the regulation. Thank you all for listening.